Before we get started with today's podcast, we've got a message from our mates at GameDay Squad.
Do you love women's fantasy footy?
Now, women's Aussie Rules Fantasy has officially launched at GameDay Squad.
It's free to play, create, coach, and compete for weekly prizes.
Open your free player packs weekly.
It's fun, it's free, it's easy.
Register now at GameDaySquad.com.au.
DT's all right with me. DT's all right. Oh, yeah. I'm Roy, Coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Calvin.
Coach Calvinator.
We're here to talk about one of the fraud teams of the year.
Oh, yes.
Straight sets again.
Straight sets. Oh, look at you.
And to Carlton.
I know, I called it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I called it.
Yeah.
Poor old D's.
Yep.
It's not that I don't like them, but they were no chance.
Well, no.
No.
They didn't turn up.
What about the fact they didn't, though? Like, they're kicking at goal.
Shocking.
Straight set.
What about
Bad
Shaki?
decision making.
Shaki is their sub.
Well, he's not fantasy relevant.
You're asking for it there, weren't you? You're asking for it. But hey, it's not about the Blues.
No, it's not
Need
about
to
the
stay
Blues.
focused.
We are talking the D's and their well fantasy.
Yeah.
What it means from this year,
Yeah.
what it means for next year. I don't know.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? Well, no, there's not,
Very.
which is interesting because they are a good club.
Oh, yes.
And they've got players that can rack
Yes.
serious numbers.
Yeah.
But at the moment, there's just a bit of a cloud over them, isn't it? Yes, they're just a bit on the nose. They are a little bit on the nose. Now, I mean, do we want to just go straight into their superstar?
Yes.
Because that's...
Oh, well, yeah, we can. And I forgot to
yes.
play that.
Oh, yes.
It is Melbourne.
It is Melbourne.
That's who we're talking about.
Yes.
But we will go to who is our what a man out of this.
It has to be Clayton Oliver because if you wind the
He's
clock
good.
back, there was conversations around Clayton Oliver being a must-have at the start of the year.
Yeah,
and it
Calvin
was
being
justified.
redundant.
Yeah, it was justified
Again.
because, he was one of those Calvin redundant guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there was 2 or 3 rolled through the season, but he was definitely the first one.
Yeah.
Now, he was a pre-season consideration.
Yep, of course.
Because we saw him as safe compared to a lot of the guys around him. But he put on a little bit more than we expected to start with.
He's been amazing. So his he was coming in at 112.5.
Yep.
That was his average from last year. And so for most of us go, oh, you don't want to spend that. But he did look like from the start of the season that he was going to make that look silly. He started with 124, 149, 111, 129, 108. So all these massive numbers up there.
Yeah.
Basically, he only dropped below the ton once, and that was in round 24.
Yep. So he
Amazing.
had 10 triple-figure scores up until that missing, that round 11. So
And then that was that hammy, wasn't it? Is that what it was? It was a hammy at the end, wasn't it?
a 1 to 2 week.
1 to 2 week hammy that just kept going.
And then we saw him again in round 22.
Now, he's our number one mid. Come draft, he's the first one picked.
Well, yeah, probably. Like, the thing that I don't like, though, he found a way just to end up averaging basically what he did
Yep.
last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is that him then?
Well-
like, does he find a way to just do that? Because it looked like he was a 120. He elevated his
Yep.
game to a 120.
Yep.
Now, he's not an injury-prone guy, but that hammy, that just lingered, and
Didn't
that's,
it ever?
I think it's
Some
part of the
conspiracy
smell.
theorists about it,
There are.
but-
And when conspiracy theories start coming in and tweaking this, tweaking that, I
Yeah.
don't know.
What
It's
about
a lot
that,
of money to spend, that 112, 114.
What about that fossilised alien from Mexico? Did you see that?
I did see that.
Yeah. There's-
Really?
There's questions about that
there's-
too.
Yeah, same sort of thing.
Conspiracies. you got to worry about them.
Petrarca was good, 106.
Yeah.
Yep.
Viney was good. He got to 100. He went at 113 in his last 8.
13.
113.
It all just smells a little bit.
It does.
You can't sell me Petrarca.
No.
Well, a lot of people jumped on
Yeah.
with good reason, and there was that hope at one point that he was going to gain the forward status.
Yeah.
But I guess it was just one of those seasons for him where it didn't hurt you if you didn't jump on him
No.
at all, and there were people that just weren't even happy about having him.
No,
Like, it
that's
just
the worst
wasn't-
thing.
Yeah, like he just did what he did.
As a previous owner, when he doesn't have forward status, he can be uber frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
Because his worst is really bad. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we all remember Sick Day.
Oh, my God,
Sick
yes.
Game
The
was
flu
game.
Flu game was extraordinary.
What was
But
that last year?
I remember where I was and what I was doing
Same
that
here.
day. And I was just kept refreshing it, and I was like, what's going on?
You didn't even hang around for the fireworks, and it was a cracker night.
That's right.
You were that angry
I
about
left. I
it.
was out of there.
So
That
his
was
last three
against
games.
Fremantle, 40
Yeah.
points.
Oh, yes, it was.
40.
I remember that. So his last three games, he scored 96, 75, 100 for the year.
Yep.
That's just so blah,
Yep.
and sums him up to the point where you go, well, I wouldn't be starting with him if I have to pay 106.
No way.
Viney you don't start with, but he's just
No.
a great little draft guy.
He is,
If
yeah.
he's ever there on the board when
Oh,
you've
yeah.
filled out all your favourites,
Yeah.
you go for Viney.
Agree.
I'm telling you, we
All right.
never, ever,
How...
getting back together.
I don't want to pick any. Like, that's the thing.
Well,
but
it is.
who have we got for the list of the never again?
Well,
There's a lot of them, really.
there is a lot. I don't want to say his name
Why?
because it sounds like a bit disrespectful at the moment.
What?
Angus.
Oh, you can't pick Angus.
No.
No.
But a lot of
He's
people...
played every game the last 3 years,
Oh,
except for on the weekend.
yeah. 99 he was last year.
Yeah.
As a defender.
Yeah.
He would have gone very early in a few
Oh,
drafts.
and people were like going, yeah, you might just go the safety of a guy. Those top few all sat around there. Like,
Yep.
if you went
Yeah,
him instead of Dawson, like,
Yeah.
that's a massive clanger.
Yeah.
it is.
Like, those guys.
But-
and I didn't mind him, to be honest. Like,
No.
I was thinking at the start of the season,
Yeah.
he's probably the type of guy because of that opportunity
Yeah.
that
Yep.
he might have had to
Yep.
get in those
So he
scoring
dropped.
positions.
He dropped to 85.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Hey, cheap next year.
Nah.
Cheap, right?
Never again.
So he won't have defender status next
No.
year, will he?
I hope they keep the same photo in the game than what it was this year,
Yep.
and that will actually put you off.
It
Have
will.
you seen his
Yes, I
photo
have.
in there?
Yeah, it's
Extraordinary.
It's disgusting.
It's a stitch up.
Speaking of
It's an absolute
disgusting,
stitch up.
I want to mention Pickett.
Oh,
Not only is he a sniper, Roy,
his axe on a football ground.
he is just
unacceptable.
no. Anyway,
He tried to hurt Cripper.
he did. So he only ended up averaging 63, but a lot of people got
Yeah.
excited, I guess,
Yeah,
early
yeah.
when he started with a 120.
Yeah.
More midfield time,
He was
all
getting
this.
CBAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he got rubbed out for the next two, 87 on his return. So
Yeah.
to do all of that and average 63, there's some stinkers
You've
in
had
there.
some bad ones in
You
there,
got some
haven't you?
terrible ones in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Some of the players that. Well, let's start with guys that were good this year.
Yeah.
So let's start with those rookies. Chandler, one of the
My
best.
boy!
He was great.
He was
Good
brilliant.
little cash
100,
cow.
100 on debut.
Yeah, he accelerated that price quickly, didn't he?
And if you didn't start him, because I was one of those that didn't start, I
Yeah.
actually shuffled my structure because
you?
of that.
To get him
we sort
in?
of needed to.
Yeah.
Like, he was just the right guy, because we're all stuck on, a lot of us were stuck on those Fords.
I don't
Because
know
we had all
why
the big dog Fords.
Why did I even start him?
I looped him on round one.
Yeah, I think I did too.
It's extraordinary.
So he was good.
Shenanigans.
Like, it doesn't show his true story because he went up 245 grand.
Mm.
Definitely did more than that. He peaked a lot higher than that, which I don't have those in front of me. However, those scores initially, like 104 to start with, but all 60 plus. I remember you got 100 out of him on your field as well later as well.
Yeah,
VA.
no, I did.
That's
right.
what you did.
Bring him
Everyone
up.
else was.
You should not have had him. You had
You
no
either
right
had an
to still
injury
have
or
him.
something. You had to play him or whatever you did. Anyway,
Doesn't matter.
The other one that was very
He
good
knows when to step up, Roy.
He does.
is JVR did all right, old Van
Yeah.
Roy, and he pumped out some half decent scores along there with some stinkers as well. I know.
Oh, right, there were
I think you
stinkers.
played that 29.
Oh, I did.
Oh, my goodness.
If actually you pick his two worst
Yeah,
scores,
you
and I
would've
think
played him.
I had him for both.
Judd McVie,
Yeah,
23 games.
23 games.
Surprise.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong.
You're
but
wrong.
in the preseason, when I know we don't pay too much attention to preseason games, but I recall Judd really sucking.
Oh, yeah.
hitting 20s.
Yep.
And we put a line through him.
Yep.
So we were thinking no scoring ability, no job security.
Yep.
And he's played what? 23 games.
So, look, he only averaged 46.
At
he
least we
scored
got the
10 in the
scoring bit
preseason
right.
game.
That was it. Yeah, that was line through stuff.
His price
23
ended.
games.
His price ended up at 367,000. It wasn't a lot of growth from the old
Chandler was
from
there in
Joe.
2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
But still,
yeah,
credit to him.
we were picking guys on our bench that were gone in 2 weeks' time. At least he was there.
Exactly.
So the Rooks
he
were
was
good.
a heartbeat. He's
the
a
Rooks were
heartbeat.
good, but we're not a breakout. But players we're
Thinking for
keeping
next year.
for next year to keep an eye on. We've got to look at Max.
Yeah.
Have to.
So priced at 92. After his buy, he went at 101.
Yeah.
Okay, which is what he is, isn't
Yes, it is.
Roy got on board.
I did.
Yeah. Previous years, 109 and 103.
Yeah.
So back as Max, number one ruck, he's that 105 guy again,
Yes.
isn't he?
Yeah.
See, and the big thing is, like, it's actually could be even better because if they're getting rid of Grundy, which it sounds like it obviously will happen,
Yes. Yeah.
but who is their 2IC now in the ruck department? Because he had Jackson for the last couple as well.
Yeah, well,
So can he only be
That's the
fucking
thing.
heaps better?
Yeah, he's got to be, yeah.
well, yeah, 105 plus.
However, he
type
did
area.
have some brain farts on the weekend as well.
Yes, that was extraordinary. That one on the line.
Yeah. But this is the other one.
What was he doing there?
Old mate Kane gets in players' heads
yes.
a lot. Now, one of the things, like Bombers, they didn't go to bloody Spain for their bloody little party trip this year because Kane's been talking about that.
Really?
So they didn't go.
Because he said it.
Yeah, because he's going, no, they should be bloody training and
Oh.
all this. All
As
right.
if you'd let him.
The
wreck
latest
it.
one, I don't know if you've been
What?
hearing this, he reckons Max kicks it too much.
Oh no!
So that's not
Shut
good.
up.
That's not good if Max starts listening.
No, it's not good at all.
So that's the thing. He goes, you know how he often grabs it out of the rack and just
He
gets on the
does.
boot or has it and could handball it out to a runner.
Yeah.
Nah, he would just kick it, which is not what we want for fantasy football.
Now,
Sometimes he even dribbles him off the toe for a little +3. I love it. God, don't ever stop that, Max.
when are you ringing Kane?
Yeah.
Because you could talk to him about
You do
this.
need
There's a lot. I
Gotta
need to make
say-
a list. We could have a good. Geez, it'd be a good podcast, I reckon.
Oh, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
And now let me get on to Max kicking it. How dare you suggest that he does not kick?
Speaking of, I wonder if it was his kick-ins that got Harry Sheasel the
Oh.
best and fairest.
Yeah, must have been. Those handful of kick-ins.
God, he's a dickhead.
He is. He is. Full blown.
All right, so we're picking Max.
Yep.
I
and,
think.
And we're also picking Grundy.
Yeah, wherever he ends up, which sounds like it's
Oh
Sydney
my
now.
God.
Back together again.
And we're getting them at value. So Max at 92 goes at over 100.
Yep.
Grundy, 75, goes at over
God,
100.
that's a bargain set and forget.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's going to be a few different combos that we can be rocking and rolling with, but those two there
Feels like
could
it's
be.
just the obvious, doesn't it?
They may not be 1 and 2, but they're not. You don't want to
they're
be
close
paying
enough for
115
that
plus
price,
like
aren't
you
they?
are for the other dudes.
No.
For Marshall and English.
So, I mean, what we saw from Grundy this year then, so what did he go on to average?
Yeah.
75 he got to.
So 75
You're
in,
not picking him based on this
in
year
an
at all.
absolute pus roll.
Yeah.
So what? He's still a 90 guy, isn't he? Like he's not 120 like he has been.
Not ruck pig.
Has to be
multiple-
90, doesn't he?
I think so.
90 plus.
I think so.
Yep.
Goodness
And we
me.
think the Swans dog.
That's
Yes.
where it sounded like that because
It
I
is
think
sounding
Port
like
Adelaide
that.
have ruled him out as an
Well, they got Jordan Sweet.
Yeah, no, well, that's the other one. If you do want to be thinking, I know this isn't a ruck show,
No, but this
but
is.
Jordan Sweet
Yeah.
could be your R2 if you want it.
100% that could be a
But
play.
then if you go
That's
those
a-
guys, then you don't have your walk-up captains and your Marshalls and your Englishes.
No, but I don't think you can be paying for Marshall
Nah.
English at this point because I have a feeling. I've got,
it will be.
I've got a feeling in my waters that no ruck next year.
I was on the piss the other night on the island with the other boys on X-Airy, and there Jordan Sweet's name came up.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, as a starting R2.
It's very much X-area areas, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it.
I guess, yeah, Melbourne, probably not that relevant for us,
No, they're
but
not.
they are. They've got guns. It's just, I don't know if we can be paying for Oliver at that price. You're not touching
No.
Brayshaw. You're not touching
No.
Petrarca. You're
We'll
not
have Max.
touching Viney.
We'll have
Max
Max.
is about
We'll have
where
Max.
it is.
Yep.
And who knows? Maybe they spit the goo a little bit and play a few kids.
Well, this
Could
is the
that
thing.
happen? Could
I-
they
well, yeah,
do
I
some
think,
trading or something as well that could help?
The swag that has helped them maintain
Yep.
their status and even scoring ability, I think it's going to drop a little bit.
I think you're right, Roy.
Yeah, the swag's gone.
Sort of team that you can be finding some good players though for your game day squad.
Yes.
So you can be doing that obviously with the men's game, but also the women's game, which is launched as well now. So you can find that at GameDaySquad.com.au. So don't know which cards you'd exactly want from men's, but in the women's, Kate Hoare.
Yes.
She had
Yes.
84 points in a quarter.
Oh, stop it.
That's
What?
more than any men's player that I could find on record.
84 in a quarter.
In a quarter.
Amazing.
Delicious.
That's amazing.
Very good. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.